How your words can set you free. Our last video was about a flip that we sold. Realized that there was a problem. Dug up the front lawn the day of the closing to replace the issues. Usually a $5,000 or $6,000 job. We did it for much less, obviously. I met the people that were buying the house before I met them in person. I seen them. I wanted to meet them. Everyone that buys our houses I want to meet. And most people say, well, why? Because I want to know who it is. I don't want to give you a deal if I don't like you, if I think you're ignorant or arrogant. I don't want to give you something that my guys and myself have worked on months and months and months to make really, really good. So the day of the issue, the day of the closing, we decided to call our lawyer, and I said, look, I want to speak to them directly. I don't want two lawyers talking back and forth because there could be some issues. They call me, I talked to it was a couple, I talked to the guy, the girl, and the girl's father. You know, this is the issue, I didn't want to leave with you, I'm here to fix the problem. The next thing I know, a couple hours later, I get a phone call from my lawyer saying their lawyer says they want to hold back $20,000 for 6 months. So the old Ian would say, you know, go to you know where. And I thought about it and said, well, it's really not up to the lawyers. It's up to the people. It's up to myself and up to the couple and the father that's helping these guys buy their first property. So I said, look, I have no problem holding back $20,000. But you're going to pay me 20% interest. And the lawyers, I could hear the lawyer screaming and yelling on the phone with the buyer's agent. And I was like, well, what's the problem? Well, that's ridiculous. I said, well, you know what's ridiculous is that I go out of my way to have my guys dig a hole to make sure your clients have a safe, proper environment, and you try to gouge me. So they're like, well, we don't understand. You should just give us a $20,000 discount. I say, you know what I should do? I should just say, I should see you guys in court. Because no one's used to people doing great things. They're used to people taking advantage or ripping off. So by me digging it, they think I'm fixing some problem half-assed so that I can just close. Well, I didn't even have to dig the dirt. I could have just walked away. So that's the first point. The second point is there's two electrical bodies that control hydro or power in Toronto. It's ESA, so ESA inspects all electrical. Hydro will actually say, okay, we'll put the meter on the work that ESA has inspected. So there's some controversy about that. It should have been on the inside wall or an outside wall, but it was closed, and then they didn't come back to inspect it. It was a whole rigmarole thing. So the bottom line is, my electrician put it on an outside post, which doesn't comply with their drawings. But when their drawings were made, the porch was closed in, so we weren't allowed to put this on the inside because they wouldn't have access to read the meter. So my electrician did the right thing. He put it on the outside. ESA passed everything. I would call up Hydro the other day and say, okay, it's been 3 months, guys. You haven't put your meter on. I'm selling the house. I need the meter put on. Well, it doesn't comply. I said, okay, why? Well, it's not on a structural wall. Okay. I sent 4 or 5 different messages, and I said, you know what, forget it. I got in my car. I drove down to Hydro. Sat there in the office. Security's like, what are you here for? I'm here to speak to someone about this issue. Okay, one guy comes out, brings this plan. This is how it's got to be. This is the way it's going to be, and that's it. I talked to his boss. I said, look, if I could put a pole outside the front of my house when I'm building a new house with a sonotube, cement, and a fence post, and it's secured properly and you pass it, why wouldn't the structural wall pass? I went through my story. My wife's pregnant. She's going to be due any day. These people are moving in. They're a young couple. I don't want to go through the hassle of doing this. If it was 2 weeks ago, we would do it. It's not an issue. He said, you know what? Let me think about it. I called him back a couple hours later. I said, look, I'll get a structural engineer to write you up a letter saying this structurally sound, this mast and this meter housing will be fine. He said, if you can get that for me, I'll pass it. So, words can set you free if you use the right ones. If you use the wrong ones, you're in some huge, huge trouble. Remember that next time you're doing a deal, next time you're talking to the guy at the convenience store, next time you go to the laundromat. Being courteous, being passionate can go a long way.